The committee applauded the consultant's plan for being both blank in its vision and blank in its step-by-step execution. When faced with a two-blank question like this one, the first thing we'll do is read the full sentence and try to understand its overall meaning, even with both words missing. Then, before looking at the choices, we'll try filling each blank with our own simple placeholder word based on the context. Often, the structure of the sentence will give us a clue about how the two blanks relate to one another, whether the sentence is showing a contrast, cause and effect, or adding two similar ideas. After that, we'll take a look at the choices. Because each option gives us a pair of words, both words in the pair must fit our sentence. If even one word doesn't match, we can mark that entire choice off. With this in mind, let's take a closer look at our sentence. We see that the committee applauded the consultant's plan, and we're told they praised it for being both something in its vision and something in its execution. Because the plan is being applauded, we can reasonably assume that both blanks should be positive qualities. The structure also tells us that these two qualities work together: a big picture positive trait for the vision and a clear, organized positive trait for the step-by-step execution. With this in mind, we might fill the blanks with something like ambitious in its vision and organized in its execution. Now that we have these placeholders, let's take a look at our choices. A. Predictable in its vision, spontaneous in its step-by-step execution. Predictable means expected or lacking originality, which is not something someone would praise in a vision. Spontaneous means unplanned or impulsive, which does not match the idea of a careful step-by-step execution. Because neither word fits our placeholders, we can mark this entire choice off. B. Haphazard in its vision, strategic in its step-by-step execution. Haphazard means random or lacking organization, definitely not something a committee would applaud in a vision. Strategic does fit the idea of thoughtful planning, but since the first word doesn't work, this pair can be marked off. C. Derivative in its vision, chaotic in its step-by-step execution. Derivative means unoriginal, which doesn't match the idea of being praised. Chaotic means disorganized, which directly contradicts a positive review of step-by-step execution. Because both words conflict with the tone of the sentence, we can mark this choice off. D. Imaginative in its vision, methodical in its step-by-step execution. Imaginative fits perfectly with the idea of our praised vision. Methodical fits perfectly with the idea of a careful step-by-step execution, as a methodical process is orderly and systematic. As both words align with our placeholders, this is likely our answer, but let's take a look at choice D just to be sure. E. Dubious in its vision, meticulous in its step-by-step execution. Dubious means doubtful or suspicious, which would not be praised in the vision of a plan. Meticulous does match the idea of careful execution, but because dubious doesn't fit our first blank, we can mark this choice off, and we can go ahead and mark choice D as our final answer.